Hello, this is Natasha from Sakura Art. Today I am going to do a flip through of the two new junk journals that I have that I've made and that I have in my shop now. Okay, so the first one is I'm going to do the fairy one. So I made two different themes. One is a guest book, and the other one is a fairy book. Okay, so let's do the fairy book first. So this is a fairy inspired journal that I've made. It's a full signature journal. It's got the charms on, and it's inspired by fairies. Just going to take this ribbon off, put it on the side. Okay, so what I did is I did my cover like I normally do my cover. I paint my cover green, and then I put a picture of a fairy on it, and then I also went over it with quick crack and paint it silver to have that vintage look, to have that texture look. And then and now I'm just going to seal it. As for the spine, I have 4 signatures in, and I did all my signature binding with some strings with green to keep that in that woody or that foresty theme. And then for the charms, I made a charm bottle that's got a leaf in with glitter. So I use spray glue to spray inside the bottle charm, and then I put stars in so it can have that fairy dust look. And I did a green bead with a star. So on this strings, or strings, let's say the strings, I left a few of the strings I left open, or I left it unused, so the person can actually add their own charms. They have a little bit more place to have their charms. Okay, so the inside, there's a pocket. So in this pocket is going to be, because someone already got this journal, so I'm going to put in things there for her. And then it's a full, like I said, it's a full signature. So if you're going to look, mostly all of the colors are purple and pink and green and a little bit yellow and brown. So there's a lot of brown in, and I try to keep a lot of green in. So this signature, the first page of the signature, like I call the cover signature or the cover page, is from handmade paper. And then I add a poem about a fairy, a poem of fairies. There's some paper that's got printout paper that's got fairies in, and all the paper is also coffee dyed, so I try to keep that coffee dye in. Here is an envelope that I've made that's part of part of the pages. And then I try to bring in dimension by using different sizes of paper to fill in the signature. And as you can see, there isn't a lot of like scrapbooking paper or lot of pattern paper. So I try to have more a journal that you can actually write in more. Here's a doily, some vintage paper that I've got. And I only put in this journal, there's 12 pockets in, but 3 different types of pockets. And I decorate the pockets. So this is a 4 pocket or 3 pocket thing, and I decorate it with butterflies and fairies and some quotes. I didn't add a lot of clusters in, so every signature have one cluster. I just went and researched and design and sit together and make my own clusters this time. So this is a bottle that's got a fairy in and some quote. I also used dictionary paper, and then I actually started to do all my own illustrations also. So this will be the first journal that's got my own illustrations in. So this is a fairy. I still need to give her a name, but this is one fairy. Yeah, so this is water painted, and yeah, so she's water painted and hand drawn. And then just some more paper. Here's another pocket. As you can see, I didn't decorate a lot because I want the person who's going to get this journal, you know, do their own journaling and decorate it or whatever they want to do in this journal, they can do. So here's just some pattern paper, and then the back of the signature cover, I use another pocket that I actually decorate with butterflies and a fairy and doily. The next signature is a pocket, another picture of fairy. Here is a hidden paper clip, and then another pocket that's got birds on, a small pocket. I don't want to have like this big pocket, so I just add small pockets in, and then I secure it with washi tape. And then here's another fairy. So the first one was a blue fairy, so this is a green fairy, so this is a blue fairy. This is also one of my own illustrations that I put in. Here I've got some butterflies that I have, I think it's from a dictionary, and I used scrapbooking frames that you can use in your scrapbooking book. So you know the frames is already there. So I actually just cut out one of the frames, and yeah, so I'm using this as my as something that you can use as a window, a page that you can use as a window, or you can make your own pocket. So I put that in. Here is some more white paper. Another cluster dictionary paper, and then as you can see I put the doily with a smaller, or print out doily with a smaller page that's made out of cardstock. Here is another pocket, and this is the other side of that frame that's here, frame page. So yeah, and the printout, let me just see, and here is another fairy and another pocket. As you can see, I didn't add this time, I didn't add a lot of pockets in. I tried to keep as simple or plain as simple. Yeah, I tried to keep it plain and also simple. So here is another paper clip, a hidden paper clip. So each of these journals got only 4 paper clips in. So this is another one. As you can see, is texture paper or handmade paper that I think I've got this from it's quite old, so this paper, so for me it's vintage. But anyway, so here's a picture that I've got, a scrapbooking paper, and here's some lined paper. So I try to, the paper that isn't lined or isn't vintage, I try to use to dye all my papers and to have that coffee, that coffee feel. Here's another pocket. Just add something different to it, to not paste it, from the inside of the page, but rather on the side, so you can have that little bit growing space. And then here is another fairy, another fairy illustration that I did, and a cluster that's got some twine in. So this is the twine that I'm also going to use to close the book or close the journal. Different texture, paper texture. So this is lined paper that I just coffee stain or coffee dye, And here is another fairy that I drawn. Sorry, my voice went up. I add a little bit, tiny bit of washi tape, another pocket, just to, you know, to secure the pages, to make sure that the paper is nice and yeah, and it's stuck. Here is another paper, another envelope. A purple fairy, a pink purple fairy. That's also one of my own illustrations. And then a cluster with an envelope. And then the last signature is a purple signature with an envelope, a fairy. Yeah, so as you can see, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Here is the envelope that I just cut the one side open, so they can have a pocket here and they can put something in, or they can use it as an envelope. And there is another fairy that I've done, another illustration. Yeah. And as you can see, I didn't put all my papers together, so I want that different dimension of, you know, almost like, I think it inspired me to do it this way. If you put a lot of leaves together and you fold it, and then you have all this different sizes of the leaves together. So that was my inspiration. So I think this is my last fairy, but here's another fairy that I've done, another illustration. Another illustration. And here is the envelope that's got a few goodies in. I'm not going to open that because I'm scared it's going to fall out. But there's butterflies in, and I add some small fairies and also a few of the bottles that I made the clusters and doilies. And then I decorate it with just some of the paper, scrapbooking paper that I've got over, or printed paper, pattern paper. So yeah, so again, I didn't want to use the whole page for a pocket, so I just add that to the side, so that it's going to have a little bit more, just something different to the signature. And then another pocket, and also in this pocket. So usually when the journal goes out to the person that wants it, I always put in, or the person that wants it as a gift, I always put a how-to journal. So there, my how-to journal is going to be there. So this is for my first fairy journal. So I've got a lot of fairy journals that is going out now. So it's going to be different, and also different colors and different, just different colors. So this journal's got all my own. Some of them are other illustrations, scrapbooking paper and pattern paper that I've got from fairies, but most of this is my first one that's got also my own illustration in. Like always, I leave a little bit space open between the signatures for your signature to grow, or for if you want to add another signature, so there's enough space to to add your own signature, or for your journal to make it more chunky. So this is for the fairy journal. So this is a guest book journal that I've made. So this is a guest book. So this is going to be a gift for one of my art friends that's doing art classes with me, and I made it for them for their holiday home at the seaside. So obvious, the sea, I was inspired by the sea, and then I just made it for them as a gift. So this is a smaller cover. I think, let me just see if I can get a ruler to see how long, to see how big it is. So this is you can almost say a 17 centimeter by 22 centimeter journal, where my fairy one is 16 to 23. That's a 16 to 23. Okay, so I try to make this one plain simple, but to rather add outside, to add some yeah, to decorate it outside, I try to keep it plain as simple in the inside. Okay, let's first talk about the signature. So this is a free signature journal. So if one of the signatures is already full, they can just take it out and add another one. I use coffee stain paper that I paste in, and then I've painted around the edges just to have a more flowy feel. I painted also white inside, white with blue. So here's just scrapbooking paper that I use as my signature cover. I put some quotes in for the seaside, you know, and then I use white paper, some coffee stain paper to have that sea look, the sand look and the water and the sky and the sea. So I actually went on Canva and used their free Canva, and then I actually used their patterns that I, you know, when you type in and you want certain pictures, and then also pictures that I've got, and I actually designed kind of my own paper that I want to use in this journal, so I can have a different patterns in every signature or different patterns. So here is just some sea animals that I've got, clams and shells and crabs. Then more white paper. So this is one of the I was just playing around to see if I can design it like that, and so yeah, it's just blocks that I made my own pattern paper. And here's another quote, some paper, and then the back of that pattern paper, another quote, and there's more shell pattern paper. Okay, for this next one I use again scrapbooking paper that's got shells on, and it's got some texture also in. Another quote. So this is a guest book. So if there's guests sleeping in there, or when they're renting out their coffee, or sorry, not coffee, I'm thinking about coffee now, but they're renting out their holiday home, people, the guests can write something in, and also because they're also artists, they can actually go and do some painting inside the journal. So that's why I add more white paper to it, so they can actually make it. And here is more of my pattern paper that I've made, that I designed or playing around, and more paper. There's something, pattern paper, more, sorry, pattern paper. I'm sorry, I'm just going quick now. And yeah, so the pattern paper, and paper. So this was my first one that I actually started to play with. So it's blue. I try to keep as yeah, close as possible towards the sea and the beach theme. So yeah, put more quotes on. I almost say I put more beachy quotes on, but yeah, some sea, and then pattern paper, and as you can see, my signature. So as for the cover, so the cover, I said I think it was 13 to 22 sizes of the journal. So I painted the cover, it was almost like a dark, it wasn't navy blue, it was a little bit more darker, but not midnight blue. So it was a dark blue, so I painted blue, and then I went over again with the quick crack, and I put white on, and the moment I put the white on, the white paint on, I start, you know, rubbing it almost off to have just a different effect and a different look. So I really like how this sketchbook came out. I didn't want to put something in front, but one of my friends said that's your close friends, and I rather put guest book on so everyone can know this is a guest book. So I just plain and simple put on guest book with wooden letters, laser cut wooden letters. As for the spine, so the spine I did something different because I didn't add a lot of pockets inside this journal. I just did the spine, so when I actually started to bind the journal, I add beads to this spine. So it's different beads, glass beads and wooden beads, and different colors that actually goes very beautiful with the color theme. And I just add that in on the spine. So the binding holes are free, so I've got free holes, and I think everybody knows how that works. And as for the charms, I put inside my, I don't know if you guys can see, but I put inside the charm bottle, I put the fish that I have, and then just some beads, and then inside I put a mini sea stars that I've got. When we went one time to the sea, I bought it at a shop, and then some small shells and some decorative sequins that I put in also with beads for the charms, or for the charm bottle. And then I've got this charm that I found that's got an old man sitting in a fish boat and catching a fish, and a rock to go with, and then also a sea star. And then I use ribbon and some leather strings and some twine just to complete the look. So this is for my 2 new journals that I've made, that's going for that's going to people, but just a flip through. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Sorry, this is I think I can't even remember the last time I posted something. But anyway, so like if you like and subscribe. Anyway, enjoy your day. Bye.